All right, folks, good evening, one and all. Welcome to another edition of Journalist Hangout. It's a Friday, September 29, 2023. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now, on the program today, Attorney General of the Federation, NEC, urged Labour to shelve planned strike as NUPENG threatens to halt fuel supply. I'm hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, BKO. I greet you. Good evening.
Good evening, Citizen.
We are also joined by Paul Dada. Paul, Happy New Year to you.
Good evening. We should have said.
Okay, so the team is ready. I hope you are. All right, then to our first story. You know, the death of fast-rising musician Ilerioluwa Alaba, a.k.a. Mohbad, on September 12, 2023, is still attracting the headlines. In the latest development, the police in Lagos have arrested a gentleman, Samson Olamilekan, a.k.a. Sam Larry. He is an associate of the controversial singer Naira Marley. He is currently assisting the police with ongoing investigation into the sudden death of Mohbad. In investigations, when you eliminate the impossible, whatever is left, however improbable, must be the truth, Jide.
Yes, we're interested in the truth, and the truth is being approached in different angles, from different angles. There is the autopsy that has been done. The result of the autopsy is being awaited. The person who administered an anti-tetanus injection on him has also been arrested. Nigerian nurses have come out to say, no, this person is not one of us. It's not a registered nurse and all that. That is one leg of the investigation that the police are interested in. And then the matter of bullying of the artists, which people have seen in form of videos that have gone viral.
Intimidation and all that.
Intimidation, beating. There's a particular video in which he was bleeding on the neck, you know, in front of Naira Marley's house. Naira Marley has not explained how and why that happened. But we've seen him doing some PR through his minders about the fact that he didn't do anything to him. He's not responsible for what has happened to the artist. I don't think that any rational person will pointedly say, oh, Naira Marley is responsible for the death of the artist. But what has angered people is the fact that they saw those videos showing different forms of intimidation and all that, and outright beating of the artist.
The artist, yeah.
Yes. No one can explain how we got to that situation, but it makes his death even more painful, especially given the fact that he also had done a petition, you know, where he mentioned people who are putting his life at risk and all that. So people are emotional because after his death, they started listening to songs showing clearly that he feared for his life, showing clearly that he felt he was being haunted and all that. So these are the reasons people are very interested in how this matter is resolved. Are interested in the content of the investigation, I mean the report of police investigation and all that. And I was reading Sam Larry today, where he said that the reason he had that brawl with him during that video shoot was because he gave him 2 million to come and play at his mother's anniversary, and he took the money but never showed up, explained that he was broke because he had left the Malian label. We are in a situation now where we cannot ask the dead what transpired, or why did you take money and they didn't play. No one is in position to ask those questions, but whatever was the reason,
the fact remains?
The fact remains that Sam Larry led a group of thugs wielding cutlasses to a place where Zlatan Ibile and the late Mohbad were shooting a video. In a country governed by laws, you cannot resort to self-help in that manner.
Gideon, I'm seeing a man in your picture here.
Yes, that's Sam Larry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
His real name is Eletu, but he prefers to be called Sam Larry. So people believe that, because he's Amali's friend, that was why, that was why he was involved in bullying of the artist. And some of the interviews that some artists have had, people like Bella Shmurda, who was his best friend, indicated that the guy got to a point that he wanted to take his own life. He was clearly fed up with life. In so many songs, he kept saying that, look,
more like saying he was pushed.
Yes, that he felt no reason for life anymore because of the constant harassment and the fear for his life. He was even in London, and he told his promoter, please get me a policeman, to be following me around. And the guy said, look, you are not in Nigeria, you are safe here. But he was already terrified. So he felt that, look, if he didn't have a policeman around him, that he wasn't sure he won't be killed. So these are the things that have pushed Nigerians to so much pity. They felt that that they could have done something to save him. All of those saying RIP today, showing pity, they knew, especially those in the industry, they knew that he was going through hell. But they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. All those songs, you cannot say that those songs had no meaning. When someone keeps saying that, look, Sheba John Malians, then one family bother me, one threaten mommy, things like that. He was really telling the story in songs.
But we didn't quite take heed.
Yes, that is why it's painful. In fact, one of the promoters said, I blame myself for this boy's death. I felt he could have moved further to save him.
Which is the problem with many a brutal death like this, an avoidable one. Everything coming out tells me that Mohbad's death was avoidable.
Yes, it was avoidable, just like BK said. From the songs we later heard, many of us didn't hear some of these songs until after his demise. He was expressing what he was going through. He wanted out of a lifestyle that was not very palatable to him. But there was an interview I later watched where he was like saying, I want to change. You understand? I'm changing. Like I'm repenting, sort of. So there was a kind of, that tells me there was a kind of lifestyle that he had when he was with the Malian records. And he wanted out of it. You understand what I'm saying? And it seems to me that there was
a fight back.
It seems to me that he was a very reserved person who didn't talk too much. So he expressed himself in his music. He wasn't the kind of person that would easily talk to you. Now, but then people that were around him, if they were observant enough, if they loved him enough, maybe they loved him for the heart, maybe they loved him for what they could get out of him. They didn't love him as a person. They didn't see him as a person with challenges, as a human being, as a young boy who was trying to find his way in life, a young boy with some tendencies to be depressed, he was already getting depressed, or was even depressed, and nobody came around him, nobody was able to assist him.
Paul, I said at the beginning, in investigations, when you remove the impossible, whatever is left, however improbable, must be the truth.
Exactly.
So do you expect the police to get to the root of the matter?
They have no choice. This is a public interest case. And, I heard one person trying to blame the people for being the outrage of the people. So what do you expect? If people were not this outrage, maybe the authorities will not take it seriously as this. You understand? If people were not protesting, if people are not angry, maybe the authorities will not take it seriously. But now we hear of autopsy. The police is giving us updates and all of that. So we expect them to ferry out the truth. How did that young man die? But not only that, not only his death, even his persecution, his maltreatment.
Yes.
People have to be held responsible for it.
All right. Well, thank you. But to tell the viewer, our musicians sing with us, they sing for us, they sing about us, they sing our woes, they sing our weaknesses, they sing our strengths. Are we listening to them? Are we really listening to them? Now to our next story. The sticky political situation in Edo State is no less messier in Ondo, where the number 2 citizen there, Lucky Ayedatiwa, I hope I got that right, is fighting both tooth and nail to stave off an imminent impeachment from office.